Anyhow, for the fourth try this morning, which is some bullshit, here's a video of a video because some other bullshit with fucking Apple, dude. The damn storage shit, you know? And then they make it so damn hard, and you gotta spend like a whole fucking week going on there deciding on what you want to delete. You know, or they make you buy some shit. You know, I guess it's definitely better than Android, but come on, y'all. We need something different than this shit. It's been too long. Anyhow, Forensic Sciences video.
Okay, I got up a little too early about
Fingerprint lifting, powder and superglue acrylate fuming.
I guess I just needed it, but for the day, needed to get my sleep back on anyhow. But I'm
sorry about that.
New Detectives, and found this in the office. You know, this is very, very similar, and they even use these in some crime labs. It goes to the end of a cardboard tube with like a long shaft in it. I put super glue fuming, and what you do is you will take a heating source, such as anything really you can use, a torch, a burner, or whatever, you know, and you take super glue acrylate, you know, or is known as a super glue, you know, and put a dab here in the ring. You see the ring? It has two different rings, you know, and if you want it to expand and you want more fuming, put it in the center, or depending on where your heating element is, and works the best at on said plate. Put drops in there, measure your drops, and according to your fingerprint size, if you've got a bunch of fingerprints, put a lot. You got a little bit, put a little bit. You know, common sense. You know, some of it. But sit this in there, okay? And then right above, you can take something like so. Like this is an oven here, right? A square oven or a cabinet. You can take, and I'm going to make one of these myself, you know. I actually probably could just use the paint oven. I'll just fix that. But, like if I ever get robbed or something, I know what to do with this. But, and you take and put this in there on the heating element, okay? Make sure your cabinet's nice and sealed. No, it cannot vent. It has to gas up inside, and you cannot smell it from the outside, or you could lose your fingerprints. And set it for about 5 minutes, you know, and take it loose. You know, you don't want this to burn, but you want the super glue to all to burn. You know, and it won't catch on fire or nothing, and it'll fume, and it'll stick to the biological materials, the oils in your hands, you know, or any oil off your body. Super glue is immediately reactive to human skin and biological materials, such as cloth as well. And any biological material, it will eat the shit out of it, pretty much. But in other words, sorry about that, stuttered for a minute, but you can take your item and get a thumbtack and get a small piece of like cardboard or whatever and put a line through it, such as a fishing line. Tie it at the top and a thumbtack in the middle if it's something that you can penetrate with said thumbtack. If not, you can get something like a clamp or hemostats, you know, and just isolate it. And you can put something like this in the top of the cabinet or the oven, a hook, a hanger hook, you know, and then you can put a ring on the end of that or whatever if you ain't already got it, and crimp it, hang it. You want to hang it at least a foot above the super glue. You know, you don't want the super glue because then you can get too much. You know, you want just the main prints. You know, and also another way, in case you can't remove something for printing, put in the oven, then what works really good is ground up charcoal. All right, ground it. Get you some charcoal, not out of a grill though. Get charcoal that they burned in trains, and I know where to get some. You can pretty much find it on the railroad track. I found it a lot growing up, you know, and I don't know if it was from old trains or fell off of trains, but grew up next to a train track, and the finest brush, makeup brushes work very good, okay? and grind it up. You want it so damn ground up that it would be the consistency of, let's see, like BC headache powder, you know, and take it and shake it, you know, depending on what you got it in. Finest particles will come to the top, you know, because they're not as heavy. They will float. And take you a brush, but take your time with it. Make sure you get a lot on it. But most of the fine powder, the finest powder is what you want. Then you can walk or whatever, you know. So anytime y'all remember this, if you find your place broken into, if you find your car broken into, you can dust it like that, you know, but immediately blow it off though, you know, and then dust it again, immediately blow it off, you know, and keep doing that until you get a good usable print. And then what you can do, you know, so the sheriff's department doesn't have to do it, or if they're lazy as fuck or whatever, regular Scotch tape. Take your Scotch tape, put it on there, and you should be able to pull a print. And super glue fuming's a little more complicated, you know, and I just know about this stuff because I've been studying forensic sciences, and this is one of the things I know about and I know how to do. But anyways, I guess here's a little tutorial for y'all today, and probably gonna put this on my YouTube. Y'all have a good one.
Anyways, guys, there's that, and I was trying to make a video with my phone to send to this, but it appears I need to clean my storage. You know, my phone's being a dickhead again. But anyhow, sorry for the cussing for those that don't like it, but you know what? I shouldn't have to censor myself. I'm changing myself for nobody, and I'm not. But super glue fuming, okay? And this right here, it comes out the end of a cardboard tube. You know, that they put rods in and whatever for shipping heavy items in the cardboard tube. And this keeps it from penetrating what would have been plastic or cardboard. You know, and they do use these in small time sheriff's departments and crime scene investigations. It works perfect. Make sure that it's not rusted, whatever. Like, this will work fine, okay? And you can take any heating source, but you want to be sure as well that you don't turn up too high, you don't turn up too low. And you don't want it to smoke immediately. You want it to start smoking within a couple seconds, you know, and make sure it's not up too hot. You know, if it's up too hot, then I just only do it for a little while, you know, because if you got it up hot, then you have more super glue. Which means you got bigger items, smaller dab of super glue, and less temperature, you know, and you can even let it sit and do it. You know, it doesn't have to do it immediately right away, and stuff like that. And another thing for the fingerprints here, you can take the tape, you know, do not mash it down all the way. All right, take it like this and just around the area where you will plainly see a print and an outline of the dust. If you need to, take a magnifying glass with it to figure out exactly where it's at, people with bad eyesight, and take the corner of the tape like this, see? Or a part that's not going to stick to the other side where you can, like that. Peel it slowly, don't jerk it right off. Peel it slowly. And take this, find you a piece of white paper, just using this as an example, and stick it onto it. And then the white will outline the print, because the print's going to be in black. Always use black. That's why I suggested coal or a just something that's a real fine black powder, or a substance that you can grind into a fine black powder that is not or that's very, very dry. It can't have no moisture, or the oil's not going to absorb it. And yeah, I just build a lot of models and stuff, but yeah, I guess I'm gonna go on Amazon and look for a microscope, small microscope, and a scientific furnace, you know, but those can be quite expensive. But anyhow, I had one before, and the damn ended up getting so hot it melted the inside, because I had it rigged up. You know, I just really wanted to use it. And I wasn't as keen and knowledge about them back then. And I kind of was, but I had so much other stuff going on. And making money, and the hurricane hit, and golly, man. But lots of other things had happened. But anyhow, here's a tutorial video for at-home remedies, fingerprint lifting. 2 different variations, 2 different situations, pretty much. Or there could be multiple ones, but these are 2 different ways to do it at home. You know, and also, too, if, you know, you don't want to get involved with the sheriff's department, you can take the fingerprints yourself. Okay, and once you do that, take them. Let me look for something. Put them on in a box, but make sure the box is sealed up and nothing can get inside, and it's waterproof. I recommend a lock and lock box if you can, and you can also take regular paper towel. You know, once the prints have been lifted, and just wrap it around the evidence. Set it in there. But make sure you put plenty of layers in there where it cannot bounce around at all. And put it somewhere where nobody's going to be messing with it. It can't move. And you'll have that evidence. And then you can also take photographs. You know, take photographs of yourself doing it if you're going to do that. And anyhow, here's a video for y'all. Sorry it went so crappy, but I didn't realize that my damn iPhone or my iCloud was full. And so I have to do that later. Oh boy, will that be fun. Not really. But anyhow, Redneck Tutorial, Forensic Science, Fingerprint Lifting. Catch you later.